Good.
Were you a Mariners fan growing up?
I was. Uh, the Dave Niehaus narrating the My Oh My VHS tape, that was my life.
So how was for you guys getting a little break, getting away, and coming back refreshed this week?
Yeah, that's great. Time's up nicely. Um, I think we've been. Um, I think just spacing wise, like you get a quarter of the way ish through the season, get a little mini bye, and um, you get focused in on another stretch of games here before getting another opportunity to recover. And it seems like the guys took advantage of it and are chomping at the bit to get back to work.
Coach said he sees a lot of similarities in what the Bucs do on defense and what you go against in practice every day. Where do you see those similarities?
Yeah, I think there's some similar structures, some of the pressures and stuff like that you see. Coach referred back to way back the system that goes on. I need to study and see what he said. It went all the way back to the Rex Ryan tree of defense. But yeah, it's just. They play hard. Guys are flying around. You're seeing a lot of different coverage structures and do a pretty good job of mixing things up, and it's hard to anticipate some stuff. So they present a great challenge, and they're doing it. I mean, they're playing really good football too. You see them, their rush defense. They got some guys up front. They're able to control things at the line of scrimmage pretty well. So great challenge ahead. But man, I know we're excited about it.
Did I just hear you say you were going to go back and study the Rex Ryan days?
Yeah, I was caught off guard, but I didn't know it went back. I didn't know that it went back to the Rex Ryan stuff. So I'm gonna go, figure it out, fact check Mike a little bit and see what's going on.
You were teammates with Baker Mayfield for a little while,
Mhm.
right? Just what was he like, and what was it like playing with him?
Yeah, man, shoot, he was awesome. I mean, what he was asked to do in 2022, I believe, back in LA, what he was asked to do was, I mean, dang near impossible. Coming in, and I think he ran the offense after 4 days of being there. It was something ridiculous. I think won the game against the Raiders, possibly. Um, but yeah, man, incredible competitor, leader, just fun guy to be around. Want to play for him, and you can see him. Man, the way he plays the game, plays with a lot of passion, and you gotta respect that. And obviously playing really good football as well.
Sam's comfortability, I don't know if that's a word, but the way that he is in the pocket, patience, distribution to various receivers. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, no, it's very impressive, and I think especially having, I think I've touched on it before, like the scarring that can happen with quarterbacks through a career of playing football. You start to feel like, throws that things go wrong, plays go wrong, protections, whatever it is, you start to lose trust in certain things. But his ability just to stay, mentally strong enough and have the fortitude to be able to say, like, I can trust in who I am as a player, trust in the guys that we have on this team, and being able to continue to play at a high level, even when he's got all these other experiences that didn't turn out, positively for him. That's a very impressive thing. And so him being able to do what he's been doing this year, and I mean last year as well, speaks to the kind of guy that he is, and why it's fun to go out there and play football with him.
Back to Mayfield, how did he pull that off, and how much did you and some of the other teammates just crash course him?
I don't know how he did. I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that. Like that was Baker and his, his ability to just kind of compartmentalize things. I think for as a quarterback, like step in, and it's like once the plays start, that's its own animal. But even just getting through the procedural stuff that you have to do as a quarterback is an incredible challenge. So that was Baker and the coaches and those guys that were getting him ready for that.
What kind of respect did the whole locker room have for that week after that?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. That's like I said, guys want to play for him, and I thought it was awesome. Like he came in, and I think he talked about a little bit about how much fun he had, even just in the course of that year, and I'm super happy for him because he's gone off and made a whatever people want to say about him, he's gone and been Baker Mayfield, and so that's pretty cool, career arc for him.
You guys have had one of the most productive, actually the most productive 12 personnel offense in the NFL so far. You've run it well in that package, and you've passed it well. Why is that working?
Guys have been able to execute. At the end of the day, coaches put us in some good positions, and we've done a good job being, decently balanced in terms of the things that you're seeing coming out of those personnels, and keep people on their toes and being able to get reps, and just it comes back to execution. You get reps, you're able to anticipate things and execute them better, and I think we've just done a good job of that over the first 4 games.
You just mentioned Baker having kind of a cool journey, and Sam's been very similar. They've been teammates for a minute in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That position in particular, do people maybe give up on guys a little too early? And is it good to see players when they get a second chance to do what they're both doing?
Yeah, I mean, I could sit up here and give you a dissertation on what I think about the whole quarterback position, but I was told I speak too much up here, so I'm just going to keep it pretty limited. No, I say too many words. Too many words. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, I do think, in short, the plug's pulled on guys, I think, a little early, and you gotta give guys the ability to learn and make mistakes, and the freedom, like truly give guys the freedom to make mistakes. Like guys across the league, rookies come in here, make huge mistakes. I know I made my fair share, and as a quarterback, you are put in a position where you have to make these decisions, and you're put in a position to make a mistake at a 10, 20, 30x what most other guys are. So there's going to be more mistakes. There's going to be more errors, but we're so critical of those guys because they stab the ball all the time. Like, give the guys a chance. Give the guys a chance to learn, figure it out, and don't put the pressure on them to be like, hey, if you make a mistake, like just let it rip. Go do it again. Like it's fine. It's part of growing in this league. It's a natural process that's going to happen, and I think the best quarterbacks in this league have been in positions early on where they can grow into that and make those mistakes behind the scenes, or they're given a position to go out there and learn and let it fly. And coaches have said it doesn't matter. Like I'm secure in myself. We're secure enough to trust that you're going to be able to figure these things out. I think those guys flourish if you just let them get to that place.
Oh yeah, the sudden change stuff you guys do in training camp. Have you seen that pay off in the season so far? Given how many turnovers your defense has been able to get each game.
Yeah, I think there's that's something through football. Like, football teams have been doing that forever and ever. It's a complementary football. Like you want to try to get into the habit of, when that happens in a game, of that mindset shift. Like, hey, let's try to capitalize on this thing. But anytime you step on the field, the goal doesn't change. Like you're still trying to. The goal is to score a touchdown. Anytime we take the field, that's the goal, regardless of whether it's at the negative one or the positive one. Like we're gonna go try to score. So it's more so I think getting yourself in that like, hey, this is a game that can change real quickly, and allowing yourself just to reset mentally. Whatever it is, even just being on the other side of it, like defensively, being in a negative position. Offensively going out there where you are backed up. It's those kinds of things that I think do make a difference in just the mindset shift and playing out scenarios. But at the end of the day, like the goal doesn't change.
When you practice that, like during training camp, are they surprising you in that situation, or are you working on plays that you might work on, like you might run in a given part of the field?
Yeah, I think a lot of times they try to create a sense of truly a sudden change. Whatever the situation is in practice, like you don't know what this period is they're going to, but here it is. This is a situation, and you play it out. And Mike's done a really good job of that, presenting those even just during the course of the year. It's not just a training camp thing. It's something that we get to experience, throughout the year as well. And being able to just kind of react to those situations. I think it's a great exercise for coaches too, to be able to say, hey, these are the things that we want to get to in these situations, and they're getting the same practice that we are.
This is your first time playing for a new play caller in a while. After 4 games, anything you've learned about Klint Kubiak?
Anything I've learned? The dude is legendary for operating on such little sleep. Like, it's pretty impressive. I don't know how he does it. and it seems like the only thing that happens, like his demeanor stays exactly the same. His hat just goes from like here, and like by the end of the day, it's kind of like, and his hair is kind of like this. You know, like that's the only thing that changes. Just like you just know where he's at with where his hat's at. But no, he's been awesome.
How little sleep are we talking?
It's I don't want to put a number on exactly what it is, but I know it is very low. It's very low. The sleep doctors would not be happy with Klint Kubiak.
When Mike McDonald talks about stuff that you guys are doing well, he often references like the spring or training camp. But like, are there other parts of your guys' training that you think is directly resulting in some of the success you guys have had? Maybe specifically just on offense.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's it's all encompassing, right? Like I couldn't say like there's one thing like, hey, this is the one thing that's kind of like made the difference for us. I think there's just if I was to say that, it would just be the focus of like when the guys are in here. I've touched on this before. Like guys are in here, they want to learn, they want to figure it out, they want to have answers, they want to have the conversations from meeting to meeting, like ask the questions that allow them to anticipate things, that clear things up, to play fast. And I think it's just gotten better and better, at least in my view, like how the offense operated week 2, week 3 of training camp to how we're operating now, just the smoothness, the efficiency, the procedural stuff, but also just in terms of anticipating looks and hitting blocks and getting into routes, distributing the field. All that's just so much better as we've just kind of continued to grow, and the expectation has not changed, that it's going to get better and better as well as the season goes on.
You've been a good yard after catch guy your whole career. What goes into being good at that part of the game?
I think it's decisiveness. I think there's an anticipation that's involved with that as well, being able to see coverages, see patterns that happen, and have an idea of, in this game, like you catch a lot of footballs with your back to the defense and being able to anticipate, well, I know where people are at or where I should go without having to look, and I think that doesn't always happen, but trying to, as much as you can, see that so you can be decisive and, puncture the defense. It does make a big difference, and just small things like that, small things that allow you to kind of anticipate. If you can get, a step here or there, gives you able to get a shoulder through, falling forward for a couple more yards, makes a difference.
All right, good.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.